Today we will be talking about integumentary system. The word integument means an overall covering of the body or any organ. Anatomically, it is the skin that makes the integument, and along with its all accessory organs like hair, nail and gland, it makes the integumentary system. Now let us see that how this system works. Now this system, the major portion is the skin, and it has got three portions that we will see in detail: the epidermis, dermis and hypodermis. Now all these portions, they are consisting of different structures, and we will try to see them one by one. Now overall, skin is an organ, and it will be astonishing to know that this is the largest organ of the body, making about 15 to 20% of overall body surface, body mass. And this is as essential as any other part of the body, any other organ of the body. So much so that if we lose our skin to 50%, survival is difficult. The person will die if we lose more than 50% of our skin. To start with this system, the functions of this integumentary system, many functions are attributed. Just to simplify it, the topmost, that it is a protective organ, a protective system. With common sense, we can understand that it can protect us from physical barriers, from chemical, serving as a chemical barrier, mechanical barrier. So it can protect us from bacteria, for example, infecting organisms. It can protect us from sun. It can protect or preserve our water and protect us from being dried up. So this is a most important function than protection of our whole body system. Then of course, an important portion of our metabolic activities, especially when we come to the vitamins, vitamin D, that is the metabolized with the help of this system. We have a function that is thermoregulation, the survival. Our homeostasis is maintained by this system, and one of the aspects is that regulation of our body temperature, and this it can preserve by the help of preserving the body water, not to allow it evaporating excessively, and keeping us in a homeostatic position. Then of course it has got as a protection immunity also, immunological functions. Any bacteria, anything which is infecting us can be dealt with this system. It has got the sense of touch, temperature and pain. Special organs are placed in the system which can tell us about what type of touch we have. A pleasure sensation we can, a painful sensation we can have through the skin. It excretes, of course, the sweat, which is an excretory method to remove waste products. Then very interesting function is that we call as social interpersonal interaction. From the face, for example, we can show our impressions through the skin. A smiling skin, or a person, if you do not like a guest, for example, your skin impressions, face impression can tell that you are not liking this person. So with all these functions, this system is working for the benefit of our body. Now when we talk the portion, the parts of this system, we say that it is consisting of portion that we call epidermis. Then the dermis portion, which we also call as proper skin. Below is a fatty layer that we call hypodermis, below these T portions. And it is sometimes labeled as subcutaneous. So cutaneous word is for the skin, the cutis. Now the epidermis is producing is undulating, it is not even, and it produces what we call epidermal ridges. They penetrate into the dermis, where the dermis is arranged into the form of dermal papillae. Now these impressions can go, they can project on the surface also, and that is what they make our fingerprints. Now the epidermis, if we look, it is consisting of different layers of cells. So when we discussed the structure of this system, we talked about that all cell layers are arranged in the form that we call epithelium. A single cellular layer of epithelium, where single layer of the cells is present, that is simple epithelium, while if more than one layer, that we have what we call stratified epithelium. The uppermost layer of this epithelium, the shape of this layer will give name either a flat epithelium, a squamous, or a cuboidal where breadth and width is similar, or a cell will longer and less in breadth, columnar. Now skin is, the epidermis is consisting of multiple layer of cells, and they are having special character, and that is they are stratified squamous epithelium. That means that it has got multiple layers, okay? Multiple layers, and this layers is uppermost layer is of squamous epithelium, and this gives shape to the cells. And another word, if you see, keratinized. So there is a special material that which is secreted, and it makes it keratinized. Keratin is strong material that is placed over there for protection. Now whole of these cells, they arrange themselves in 5 layers. So if we start from a surface below upwards, that means if we are starting from below to upside, then these layers, usually in most of the skin, we have got these layers arranged in 5 layers. But these 5 layers are restricted to those areas where the skin is thick skin, like palms of the hand and soles of the foot. In other areas, we have 4 layers of epidermis. That is the thin skin arrangement. Now all these layers, they carry the meaningful names. The first layer from below upward, the basal layer, stratum basale. The other name is germinativum, that it can germinate, it can grow. Now this is the deep germinating layer of youngest cells, and they are attached to the dermis. So the first layer from the dermis, that is the proper skin, is the first layer of that we call stratum basale or basal layer. Now it contains the melanocytes, and we will see further that these are the cells which produce the coloring material for the skin, and it has got special cells that we call Merkel cells, and they are trained for our fine touch reception. Then we have the second layer, the straight spinosum. Now these cells, they are also connected with special intercellular arrangements, and this arrangement is what we call desmosomes. and by the binding cells together by desmosomes, the layer is very strong enough. And these cells, if we take one of the cell out, it appears as a prickle cell. So this prickle cell arrangement gives the name to this layer from the word spinosum, spine. Now these cells, they have bundle of proteins which are tonofilaments, and the others which are resisting tension. Then we have got melanin granules, that is color producing cells, ultraviolet proteins protections. Then we have macrophages. They are very abundant in this cell. Now the third layer from below upwards is what we call stratum granulosum. As the name indicates, these cells, they have losing their nuclei, but cytoplasm appears granular, and so they are called, this layer is labeled as a granular layer. Now next layer is lucidum. From the word lucidum means clear, so these are clear layer cells. But this layer is the fifth layer, extra layer, only in the thick skin, in palms and soles of the hand. The last layer, the superficial most layer, stratum cornifide. Now this layer is producing the material, the keratin, which makes this whole epithelium as keratinized squamous epithelium. Now with these 5 layers, the epidermis is being made. Now all these layers, they are composed of different cells.